A 37-year-old black man just got deported, and he literally was born on a freaking U.S. base. Now, I know y'all like, how the hell he get deported and he was born on a damn U.S. base? So his father was sent to Germany. His father was a U.S. soldier. He was sent to Germany. And so, of course, the mother went with the father to Germany or whatever, and they were living on the American base where they were stationed at in Germany. Well, he happened to be born 37 years ago on the damn base. And back then, Germany did not give him no citizenship. And the U.S., well, apparently he says he never knew that he was not a citizen until he got a misdemeanor for having his damn dog tied up to a tree. And then they shipped his ass right out here. So at first they sent him to Germany, y'all. Germany said he's not a citizen here. The U.S. says he's not a citizen here. So guess what they did? They sent his ass to Jamaica because that's where his dad is originally born. And now he's been in Jamaica for 5 months. And guess what, y'all? Jamaica is ready to put his ass out too. Literally. And so I'm like, how the hell does this even happen? He literally has no citizenship nowhere. And the U.S. won't give it to him, even though he was born on a U.S. base. Tell me what y'all think about this shit, and make sure y'all follow for more.
Jermaine Thomas was born in 1986 on a U.S. Army base in Frankfurt, Germany. His father, who was Jamaican-born, served 18 years in the U.S. military and later became a U.S. citizen. Because of the laws in place at the time, Thomas did not automatically receive U.S. citizenship at birth. He also is not recognized as a citizen of Germany or Jamaica, making him effectively stateless. Over the years, he was convicted of multiple offenses, including domestic violence and theft. He challenged his lack of citizenship through the courts, eventually petitioning the Supreme Court. In 2015, the court declined to hear his case, which left the lower court rulings in place that found he was not a U.S. citizen. Earlier this year, Thomas was living in Killeen, Texas, where he was evicted from his home. While moving his belongings outside, he was arrested for misdemeanor trespassing. Instead of simply being held in jail, he was turned over to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. He spent over 2 months in ICE detention facilities in Texas. In late May, he was placed on a deportation flight to Jamaica, along with around 100 other people. According to other deportees, he was shackled and escorted onto the plane by several officers, where he sat in the back. Upon arrival in Kingston, he had no Jamaican identification, no local connections, and no clear legal status. He does not speak Jamaican patois and described the experience as disorienting and frightening. He told reporters he felt suicidal on the plane and wished the flight would crash because he was so overwhelmed by hopelessness. His deportation has drawn attention to gaps in U.S. immigration and citizenship laws, particularly for children born overseas to U.S. military parents who do not meet residency requirements. Advocates say his case shows how easily people can fall through legal loopholes and end up stateless. Thomas remains in Jamaica without any clear path to citizenship, authorization to work, or long-term housing. He has said he does not know who is paying for his hotel stay or whether he is expected to leave. The case has sparked calls for policy reform to prevent similar situations in the future. Many legal experts point out that cases like Thomas's are rare but not unprecedented. U.S. immigration law has long contained complex provisions about transmitting citizenship to children born abroad. In particular, the requirement that the U.S. citizen parent must have lived a certain number of years in the United States before the child's birth has caused confusion and hardship for military families stationed overseas. While some statutes have since been amended, they were not retroactive and did not help people like Thomas, who were born before the changes took effect. Human rights advocates argue that deporting someone who is effectively stateless violates international norms and can leave the person in limbo indefinitely. Without citizenship, Thomas has no passport, no right to reside in most countries, and no easy way to travel legally. Even basic tasks such as getting a job, opening a bank account, or accessing healthcare are nearly impossible without identification papers proving nationality. Jamaican officials have reportedly expressed frustration with being asked to accept individuals who have no legal claim to Jamaican citizenship. In some cases, deportees in similar situations have ended up homeless or confined to indefinite detention because no country would formally recognize them. For Thomas, the immediate concern is simply surviving day to day in a place that feels completely foreign to him. While he has spoken about trying to find some form of stability, Thomas has said he still hopes he might be able to return to the United States if laws change or if he can win some new form of relief. Immigration attorneys note that options for someone in his position are extremely limited, but certain humanitarian appeals or congressional private bills could, in theory, provide a legal pathway back. So far, there is no indication that any such effort has been initiated on his behalf. His story has resonated with military families and immigrant rights groups who argue that it is a profound betrayal to deport the child of a U.S. soldier who served for nearly 2 decades. Several organizations have begun using his case as an example in campaigns calling for broader reforms to protect stateless individuals and to ensure that military service guarantees a fair chance at citizenship for the next generation.